Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Inspired Channel, where I share uplifting and motivational stories that will make your day better. In this video, I'm going to tell you a story about a beggar monk who saved the life of a young man and taught him the way to enlightenment. This story is called The Beggar's Enlightenment, and it is a powerful reminder of how kindness, compassion, and wisdom can transform our lives and the lives of others. Before I begin, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of new videos. Also, please like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. It would mean a lot to me and help me grow this channel. Thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get started with the story. Hook. Imagine you are walking on the street and you see a young man who is lying on the ground, bleeding and unconscious. He has been stabbed by a robber who has taken his money and valuables. The people around him are ignoring him and passing by. They do not care about his life or his pain. What would you do in this situation? Would you help him or ignore him? Would you feel compassion or indifference? Would you see him as a fellow human being or a stranger? This is the dilemma that faced a beggar monk who was walking on the same street. He was a poor and humble man who lived on the alms he received from the people. He had nothing but a bowl, a robe, and a staff. He had no home, no family, no friends. He had only one thing, his faith in Gautam Buddha, the Enlightened One. He saw the young man and felt compassion for him. He thought, this is a fellow human being who is suffering. He needs help and care. He deserves love and respect. He is not different from me, he is the same as me. He is not separate from Buddha, he is one with Buddha. He went to the young man and lifted him up. He carried him to a nearby hospital and paid for his treatment with the money he had collected from alms. He stayed with him until he regained consciousness and recovered from his wounds. Intro. This is the beginning of a remarkable story of how a beggar monk saved the life of a young man and taught him the way to enlightenment. This story is called The Beggar's Enlightenment, and it is a powerful reminder of how kindness, compassion, and wisdom can transform our lives and the lives of others. In this video, I'm going to tell you the rest of the story and what happened to the young man and the beggar monk. I'm also going to share with you some of the teachings of Gautam Buddha that inspired them and can inspire us too. By the end of this video, you will learn how to overcome suffering, achieve happiness, and attain enlightenment. Are you ready to hear this amazing story? If you are, then please keep watching and enjoy. Body. The young man was grateful to the beggar monk. He said, "Thank you, sir, for saving my life. You are a kind and generous person. You have done more for me than anyone else. Who are you and why did you help me?" The beggar monk smiled and said, "I am a monk who follows the teachings of Gautam Buddha, the Enlightened One. I helped you because you are my brother. You are a noble and worthy person. You are a hopeful and happy person. You are a wise and free person. You are an enlightened person." The young man was amazed and curious by the beggar monk's words. He said, "I have never heard of Gautam Buddha or his teachings. What are they and how do they make you so kind and happy?" The beggar monk said, "Gautam Buddha was a prince who renounced his worldly pleasures and possessions and attained the supreme state of enlightenment. He taught the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path to end suffering and achieve happiness. He showed the way to liberation and enlightenment for all beings. He was a teacher, a friend, and a guide for me and many others." The young man said, "I want to learn more about Gautam Buddha and his teachings. I want to follow his path and become like you. I want to be a monk who helps others and spreads happiness. Will you teach me and accept me as your disciple?" The beggar monk said, "Of course, I will teach you and accept you as my disciple. You are welcome to join me and learn from me." You are not a victim, you are a survivor. You are not a sinner, you are a saint. You are not a follower, you are a leader. You are not a student, you are a teacher. You are not different from me, you are the same as me. You are not separate from Buddha, you are one with Buddha. The young man was overjoyed and touched by the beggar-monk's words. He felt a warmth and a light in his heart. He felt a joy and a peace in his mind. He felt a love and a gratitude in his soul. He left the hospital and followed the beggar-monk. He learned from him and practiced with him. He heard Buddha's words of wisdom and compassion. He heard Buddha's teachings of truth and happiness. He heard Buddha's message of liberation and enlightenment. He understood Buddha's words and teachings. He realized Buddha's message and vision. He experienced Buddha's grace and blessing. He was transformed by Buddha's presence and influence. He was no longer a young man, he was a monk. He was no longer a wounded person, he was a healed person. He was no longer a robbed person, he was a rich person. He was no longer a bound person, he was a free person. He was no longer a suffering person, he was an enlightened person. He thanked the beggar-monk for his kindness and generosity. He thanked Buddha for his guidance and inspiration. He thanked himself for his courage and perseverance. He bowed to the beggar-monk and Buddha and said, "I have found what I was looking for. I have attained what I was seeking. I have become what I was meant to be. I have nothing more to ask for. I have everything to give. I have nothing more to say. I have everything to share." He got up and left the place. He went back to the streets, but he did not beg for alms. He gave alms to the people. He did not ask for anything. He offered everything. He did not complain about anything. He praised everything. He did not hate anyone. He loved everyone. He became a living example of Buddha's teachings. He became a source of inspiration for others. He became a light of the world. He became a Gautam Buddha monk. Conclusion: this is the end of the story of the beggar's enlightenment. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. I hope you felt inspired and motivated by it. I hope you realize that you too can overcome suffering, achieve happiness, and attain enlightenment. The story teaches us many valuable lessons, but here are some of the main ones. Kindness and compassion are the most powerful forces in the world. They can save lives, heal wounds, and transform hearts. They can make us happy and make others happy. They can make us enlightened and make others enlightened. We are all connected and interdependent. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all noble and worthy. We are all hopeful and happy. We are all wise and free. We are all enlightened. We are all one with Buddha. The teachings of Gautam Buddha are universal and timeless. They are relevant and applicable to everyone and every situation. They are simple and profound. They are practical and spiritual. They are the way to end suffering and achieve happiness. They are the way to liberation and enlightenment. If you want to learn more about Gautam Buddha and his teachings, I recommend you to check out some of these resources. The Dhammapada, a collection of Buddha's sayings on various topics. The Noble Eightfold Path, a guide to the ethical and mental development that leads to enlightenment. The Four Noble Truths, a summary of the essence of Buddha's teachings. The Life of the Buddha, a biography of the historical Buddha and his enlightenment. You can also watch some of these videos that explain Buddha's teachings in a simple and engaging way. What is Buddhism? A short animation that introduces the basics of Buddhism. How to practice Buddhism, a video that shows how to apply Buddhism to your daily life. The Story of Gautam Buddha, a video that tells the inspiring story of Buddha's life and enlightenment. I hope you find these resources helpful and interesting. I hope you continue to explore and learn more about Buddhism and its benefits. I hope you practice and experience its teachings.